I'm here today with Imogen Edmunds of Redwing Solutions HR Consultancy, and today we're talking about managing short-term absence. So what are your top tips there?
It's one of the most common reasons people reach out to us at Redwing Solutions is absence. And short-term absences is defined as absences of less than 4 weeks. Now, one of the best things an employer can do is to have a policy on absenteeism. It should be in the staff handbook. It should be readily available to everyone to read and understand. You should have rules, if you like, as to how people report their absence. And you should, when someone rings in to say that they're absent, ask them about the nature of their absence and whether they're contagious, because you want to know whether you're going to be doing a deep clean for the next 48 hours, and when you might expect them to return. We should leave aside old practices of making someone ring in every day of their absence, because again, that's not necessarily conducive to them recovering and wanting to come back to work. And we should obviously bear in mind that if you're saying everyone's got to ring in by 9 a.m, what if people don't start until 3:30? You've got to think about how you word your policies. But short-term absence is best managed with a return to work interview, used to obviously check in as to whether the person who's been absent is now fit to be back at work. It's really a supportive conversation, so it should feel like one. You're not being cross-examined, you haven't committed an offence here, well, unless you were lying about why you were off, but you haven't done something that means that you should feel awkward or uncomfortable. So really supportive. And even if you've made a bad decision to call in sick when you weren't, your employer should be putting it in a sense that know that, for next time, this is what my expectations are. We absolutely should talk to people about their absence before it becomes a formal matter. You absolutely should be raising it at supervision. If you're seeing a pattern to people's absences, you should be tracking it so that you can speak to them about it's I'm afraid a pattern that you're always off on a Monday and a Friday, for example, or you ask to go home regularly. When people come to work and then start telling their colleagues that they're not feeling very well, and do you think I'll be able to go home? What do you think is a common conversation coming into the office and asking the manager, do you think I should go home? Well, the manager should be quite clear to the person in that circumstance that that's not my call, that is your call. Are you fit to be here? If you're not, you absolutely should not be here. But short-term absence, return to work interviews, and also the Bradford factor. Would it surprise you if I told you it was invented in Bradford?
I would be shocked.
It's flabbergasting, isn't it? So, invented in Bradford, it measures spells of absence, because if you took off, say, 2 weeks, Leah, with let's give you an ingrowing toenail.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yes, you wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy. But if you did that once and you told me at the outset, this is the recovery time, I've been told it's going to be 10 days, the impact of your absence would not be as great than if you took 1 day off every month for 10 months.
Right, okay, so it's about occurrences
of absence.
Okay.
So one spell of 10 days is 1 times 1 times 10. So it's a Bradford factor score of 10. 10 absences times 10 days, 10 spells times 10 spells times 10 days will be a lot bigger, 1,000.
Right, okay, so it's essentially it's a way of calculating almost the direct impact it has on the business.
Correct.
Oh, that's interesting, okay.
So it's very powerful, great tool. I'm not a fan of the parameters where we then say X points equals X outcomes, because managers should manage, not systems manage employees. That can get you into all sorts of issues with regard to not taking into consideration the reason for someone's absence, disabilities and other conditions, etc, etc. But I am a fan of the actual metric and being able to say to somebody, your Bradford factor score is X, and that's why we're going to need to have a little chat to see what we can do to get that down.
And that's really the first step, isn't it? Is if you have concerns about absence, is be able to come back here with the data saying, this is why I'm concerned, and this is kind of why we need to have a conversation.
Let's help you, because it's a psychologically safe workplace. Let's help.
Okay. I hope you found that useful. Please do click on the link below if you'd like to subscribe and get this into your inbox every week, and we'll see you again soon.